Yo, it's Captain coming at you. It's already cringe. I'm a little further back today, but we're doing we'll see how that goes. We're doing a Tears of the Kingdom adventure journal. I think this is, oh my god, I actually had to look it up. What is it? I can't see it. 27. 27. It's what I named the stream to Goron Town, so I don't know. Maybe that's what we'll name the video. But just another recap of like running around in in Tears of the Kingdom. And today we went to Goron Town. That was the big deal. These Tears of the Kingdom adventure journals are a little odd. They're very just summaries and my thoughts along the way. Um, but we started in the bistro today, the Bedrock Bistro. That's where we left off, and we left off with all the Gorons with purple eyes and turning crazy because they're eating the marbled rock roast. I couldn't remember what it's called. That was meaty rock roast. Marbled rock roast. We know something's going on. And we're like, all right, I got to get to Goron Town. So I went to Goron Town, uh, which is farther away than I thought it'd be. Farther away than we ran into several things along the way. I mean, we had the Nintendo factor where like literally everyone you meet is like, yo, there's something up with the marbled rock roast. It's making everybody crazy. And then everybody says it like 10 times. And this is pretty relevant because we actually made it to Goron City. Is it Goron City in this? Are they all villages? Is Goron Village, Goron City? I usually just say town just to be funny. But we made it there, and which, oh man, there's a lot of NPCs to talk to. And I talked to as many of them as I could before it started driving me nuts. Because I like talking to NPCs, but I don't like just there's so much talking and it's just like and they're all saying the same thing. They're all literally saying rock roast bad. And some of them will even say it twice. And you're just like it's the Nintendo effect of like when you go to Animal Crossing and you try to mail a letter and it's like, do you want to mail a letter? And you're like, yes, I would like to mail a letter. And it's like, okay, everybody who mails a letter has to talk to me. All right, so I'm gonna help you mail a letter. All right, to mail a letter today, we have to go through a couple steps. Are you gonna do that? And you're like, yes, okay. And they're like, all right, step one, you want to mail a letter, right? And you're like, yes, mail the letter. And they're like, okay, so we gotta pick a destination. Have you ever mailed a letter before? Do you want to pick the destination to the letter? You're just like, kill me now. It's the Nintendo effect. I don't know why they do that. It's like every 2 seconds is another tutorial in dialogue. So that was pretty rough when we got to the town. But on the way to the town, there was even more of that. We met a couple Gorons doing all this. If you kind of ignore all the craziness, then it's actually just like, okay, they're setting something up. What are they setting up? What's going on? We actually got a little Korok on the way, and the devs were very mean. They put a Korok next to a couple rockets, and he was like, "Help me get to my friend." And his friend is up on top of the cliff, and they just leave rockets there. So, so of course, I strapped a rocket to the Korok. I mean, of course you're gonna do that. The only problem was he went straight up and he goes boo, and then he pops and then he like falls behind me, which is not where his friend was. And I was like, ooh. It was hilarious. I enjoyed it, and of course I did it again. I got another rocket. This time I aimed him towards his friend. He went, he went off in the direction of his friend. I'm sure he got there. He's fine. No, we did. I had to go find him, but we did get him there. That was fun. That was really the highlight. And then and then we get to Goron Town, um, and everything's going on. My main goal was to get some hot pants, which we did get, so that I could get into the cave, because at the bistro they wanted me to go into the cave and get some rock roast, and that was part of this mystery. What's this marbled rock roast? So I was like, I want to see where it is, where it comes from. But I couldn't get in there because the cave was too hot. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy some hot pants. But you get to the town and everybody's just sitting there doing nothing. There's several like ore shops, and they're telling you they sell the ore for half off, but none of them will let you buy anything because they're all either complaining about the marble rock roast or eating the marble rock roast. But the big story event, um, there's two relevant story events for these very rambly Zelda adventure journals. And the first one was the big one. You get into town and you talk to the chief, and he's upset. And there's like a guy passed out. He's upset, and then Yunobo runs into town, or saunters into town, and this is not the Yunobo from Breath of the Wild. This is Luchador pimped out Yunobo. He has a leopard print sleeveless vest. He's got like a luchador mask, and he's got gold. He's got bling all over him, and I'm like, what the fuck? What in the world happened to Yunobo? And he is rude. He is not nice, and you're like, oh, something's going on. Something's going on. Actually, I think the two major story events are gonna be here all in themselves, because he references the second one I was going to talk about. Um, and he is not happy to see you. He recognizes you. He doesn't want you around. He makes this big statement about he's the boss of everything now and not the village chief. He makes fun of the village chief, and then he's a complete jackass, and he runs off. He's like, yo, catch me if you can. He takes the two kids, and he's like, I'm out of here. I don't got time for your old man business. And the old man, the chief, his name is Blado. They all start with B's, so it's really hard to tell. Um, he's like, oh, I'm gonna give you a piece of my mind, but his back hurts, right? He can't get him because he's an old guy. And so then he talks to you. He's like, oh, I'd go give him a piece of my mind, but he's all up in the North Mine. I can't get up there because of my back. Of course, your quest is then to go figure out what the heck's going on. So that was lore moment number one, big lore moment. We get to see Yunobo. Things are crazy. I've only done one town before, and it was Rito Town, and you get to see your hero, which is Tulin, and he's like one of the only ones left trying to help. Everyone else is, um, well, they're like helping in their own way, but Tulin's like, no, I'm going to go straight to the source and fix it. And everybody else is like, that's too crazy. We just have to be safe. But this one is not like that. Like, well, everyone is corrupted by this rock roast. They just don't want to do anything but eat the roast. That's it. And they get angry if you try to take it from them. And everybody else is just like, we don't know what happened to everyone. So everyone's kind of in despair. And then our hero, Yunobo, is like a complete jerk. He doesn't want to help. He's the one causing the problem. You find out he's the one causing the problem, which gets into lore point number two. I have a bridge lore point. He's the one mining the red rock ore, and giving it to everyone. And he says he has to do it because of her. And it seems like, I don't know where. It might have been him. The blacksmith is the other person that mentions this, but I actually think it came up first because we talked to Yunobo first. The implication is that Princess Zelda is the one who's getting him to mine the marbled rock roast and getting him to give it to everybody. Oh, that's right, it is him. Because when we show up, we say we're looking for Princess Zelda and trying to figure out what's going on with the rock roast. He's like, Zelda, but she's the one that wants me to get it. It's just like a little offhand comment. You're like, wait, what? And the thing is, so plot point two is this fake Zelda has appeared again. And I was trying to remember, this is the second time I remember them mentioning fake Zelda. I was trying to remember if she was mentioned in Rito Town, because that's the one town we did. I thought maybe like they mentioned her at every regional phenomena, but I couldn't remember it. I think it was like at a stable or something. I think it was the Princess Horse quest that we did, where Zelda showed up and spooked the horse, and it's like that doesn't make sense for Zelda, But then we find out that we were talking to somebody and they were like, oh, maybe it just looked like Zelda. She didn't seem, as nice as Zelda usually does. And there was just like an offhand comment, like, "Oh, I must have just mistake the princess for someone who looks like her." He's like, "Not a big deal." He's like, "What is a huge deal?" So here we have again another reference to Zelda, but not doing very Zelda-y things. So I'm just assuming there's a fake Zelda, which confuses me, right? Because why do we need fake Zelda? We already have a villain. It's Ganondorf, right? We have all this gloom and all this, red ooze stuff. And the monsters themselves. What fake Zelda? What's going on? So I'm really interested in that. Of course, so that just seems to be a setup for what's coming. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. As far as I know, we've been following the stories, and Zelda's got sent to the past. But we did also see her when at the very beginning of the game. You go to the castle and you see her, and she ascends to her people. But I assume that that's the real one, and she's like just trying to tell us that she's okay, continue on the quest. It didn't seem like she was a fake or trying to get us to do anything bad. So I don't know. There's apparently another Zelda. Then what I thought was going to be plot point two is as we're talking to the town people, you talk to the blacksmith, and he's talking about making the boulder breaker, the secret weapon, and how his apprentice was going to tell him how to do it, but then, um, got he got stuck on the marbled rock roast, and now he's gone. But he mentions that there's a blonde-haired alien who had him do some jobs, and they were weird jobs. She had him make a mask out of a weird material. And again, the implication is this is the fake Zelda. And you're like, what? What is okay? So there's a fake Zelda. She's causing trouble. She seems to be the cause of the trouble in Goron Town specifically because she's the one making or encouraging Yunobo to get this marbled rock roast to everybody, and it's making everybody like go nuts. Nuts maybe is like they're not too active. They mainly just sit there and eat rock roast. So they become completely lethargic, and then as they run out of rock roast, then they become agitated and try to like maybe attack people to get more. So it's not like they go. It's not like they go nuts and are running around. But they're definitely not themselves. I just don't have a better way to describe it. Uh, so it seems like this fake Zelda is directly responsible for this, but she also talks to a random blacksmith because I thought maybe she's like a ghost or something. Maybe it's like somebody's, using projections to pretend. But no, this one seems pretty real. So like she's talking to people, she's getting things from the blacksmith, and I'm like, what is going on with this? Like, I don't know. I mean, the only people I know that do disguises are like the Yiga clan. Yiga. It's hard to say. But they don't. I don't know. Like they seem to be in the depths this time, and they're not really messing with stuff up top. And I don't know why they do marble rock roast. So yeah, I'm interested in the marble rock roast, um, what it is, where it's what we're doing with it, and just I don't know. I guess we're gonna follow Yunobo to find out. The Rito town was much more straightforward. It was there's a giant blizzard and there's a blizzard source up in the sky that we can see. This one's much more mysterious. So I'm intrigued by that. But that was really all the story we got. We got like a couple quests from talking to the townspeople. I talked to as many townspeople as I could handle. I like talking to them, seeing them, getting the world building, but it drives me nuts when they all just say the same thing, and I'm just sitting there talking to people for like so long when I could be playing the game. So it actually drove me insane. We finally made it to the clothing salesman, and we could buy the armor. And I realized it's the fireproof armor, not the heat resistant armor, because in Goron Town it's all fireproof stuff, and the heat resistant stuff's in the desert. It's in Gerudo Town. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do with all these heat resistant elixirs I made that are completely worthless? Oh well. But luckily you only need like one piece of the stuff. It was pretty expensive. I probably could have sold some of my things and did it, but I was reminded that it's a good idea to maybe not sell all my stuff because on the way we met a trader. It's like a little story event where the Gorons jump you at the start. I think in Breath of the Wild, like there's in the same place there's an event with the Gorons, but I don't think it's negative. Like this one, they tried to jump us and take our ore so they could get more rock rose. Um, but the lady who saves you is like, hey, if you sell me 10 ambers, I'll give you extra price. And you do it. It's great. I think she gives you double price. And she's like, hey, I'll just ask for a different ore all the time, and I'll pay you double for it. And so it's like this. She wanted topazes, but I only have like 6 topazes. So I was like, I'm probably gonna need these topazes and sapphires and stuff to upgrade my armor at the Great Fairies. So it's like I don't want to sell them all. So I was like, all right, I'm holding on to them. I'm just gonna buy one piece of armor, and we bought the pants, and uh, and then it was like, all right, do I go after Yunobo or do I go try to find that rock rose for the bistro? And I was like, I'm done. I'm tired of talking with people. I want to, and I want to figure out what's going on with this rock rose. If they say it's in the cave, I want to see it. I want to see if it like looks like it's the shard of a giant monster or something. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking like maybe they're cutting off pieces of a, like an evil dragon or something. You just never know. So we get our hot pants on, we run back to the bistro, we go into the cave, and it's kind of a short cave, and we find it, and it's just like glowy, corrupted rocks, just like the marble rock rose, and it's got marble rock rose sticking out of it, and you just grab them and take them back. And it's like, oh, that's what it is. So I don't know, it just seems like gloom rocks. Um, if that's a thing, I mean, you go down to the depths where there's gloom everywhere, or you go to the castle where there's gloom everywhere, and the rocks aren't corrupted. So I don't know why. I still don't know why these rocks are corrupted. It did not give me the answers I wanted, but it did give us a little information. Give us a little information, and then I spent the rest of the time like we cleared several caves. Like as we went back to Goron Town, there were several caves along the way. So we just had, and I needed to play instead of like talk to NPCs. So we had fun clearing the caves out, getting the bubble frogs, playing with the lava puzzles, seeing a fire like lake. We got one of the caves had the hot weather attack outfits, which is one of the new outfits in in Tears of the Kingdom from Breath of the Wild. We found the cold weather outfit when we were messing in the cold in the Hebra Mountains, and it was the shirts that worked out because I had bought the hot pants and I can wear the hot shirt, and now I can have flames come out of my swords and stuff as long as it's hot. I mean, I wish I could always have that happen, but as long as it's hot, so that'll be cool. But I'm like, should I go upgrade it? So I was finally not getting one shot by everything. It's like, oh, I'm to run all the way out to go talk to the Great Fairy to get this upgraded, but I don't want to do that. I want to do the story. So it's whatever. We made it back to Goron Town, did the shrine. So we kind of like just finished. We did like story stuff, and then we just like finished it up with more gameplay stuff, and then we were kind of out of time. So we worked a little on the. It's I guess I don't know. Maybe I'll call this the Goron City and the mystery of the marble rock roast because that's kind of what it was. We're just trying to figure. We learned several things about it. We learned okay, someone's asking him to do this. Yunobo himself doesn't seem to be corrupted, but he is making everybody else corrupted. And we found some. It's just in the caves, and it's just from the glowy rocks. It just seems to be if you cut the glowy rocks up, you get it. Um, so I don't know. It'll be our next step. I guess will be to go talk to Yunobo, and I'll debate whether to like go get my armor upgraded so I don't die all the time. I guess we can. Yunobo's probably not going to kill us, so we can go talk to him. And then if he sends us to some death area, I can go upgrade the armor. But yeah, I don't know what's up with Yunobo. I don't know. I'm really interested in this fake Zelda character. Because I mean, saving the town's nice and everything, But it's always been weird. It's like, oh, but we're still trying to find Zelda. It's like, well, I know where Zelda is. I'm seeing the flashbacks. We saw her at the castle. What? I just assume she's gonna be okay. She's working through her own stuff. But yeah, it's like, oh, there's a fake Zelda. This could be interesting. So I am interested in those two facts as we go forward. What's the mystery of the Rock Rose? Who's the fake Zelda? Can we save the Gorons? We will. We will. That's how it works. Yeah, okay, we're gonna redeem Yunobo? Is he actually gonna be our hero? I don't know. But that's pretty much what we did today for our Tears of the Kingdom Adventure Journal number 27, our visit to Goron Town. And I don't know, we will continue to probably play again tomorrow. And we can figure out what happens then. So I hope you enjoyed this little rambly recap adventure. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. And I hope you have a great day. And I'll catch you in the next one. See you around.